Hey, this is Russ. Time to do another cook. Now, I originally wanted to do some pulled pork outside, but the more I thought about it, I decided I'd make Char Siu. Now, what is Char Siu? It is Chinese barbecue. I've always thought that was a little funny. This is not barbecue, but that's what they call it, okay? Chinese barbecue. And so to do this, we're gonna use pork butt. Now this is a 7-pound pork butt, and after removing the fat cap on it, it's probably about 6 pounds. Yeah, they put about a pound worth of fat. And I usually take that out. I don't really think you're gonna need it. So I'm gonna do it a little bit differently than what most people do. Now, one of my favorite packages is this. This is made by a company called No, and this is Chinese barbecue Char Siu powder, essentially. And instructions tell you to mix this with water and use about 1.5 pounds of pork, okay? We're gonna stretch that. We're gonna do about 6 pounds of pork using just one bag. And I'm gonna do it differently than how they tell you to do. So sit tight and watch. Now, I've already removed the fat cap from this, and this has a bone in here too, all right? Now, pork butt is really pork shoulder, but they call it pork butt. You could look that up on the internet and find out why that is. But some people just take this whole thing and make one big Char Siu out of it. But really, the more surface area you have, the better the flavor is gonna be for you. So I'm just gonna take this and cut this up. Now, if you've never used one of these before, definitely use this. This really does sharpen up your knife, all right? And you want a sharp knife to do this. Now, I'm just gonna take sections of this out, and it doesn't really matter that much how you cut it, but I'm just gonna take little sections like this, little chunks like this, all right? And I'm just gonna lay it in here. So, very easy to do. I'm trying to get more surface area. Now you can see that there is still fat in here, and the fat will eventually render off to a certain amount. So we're not gonna worry too much about it. Some people do worry about it, but I don't worry too much about it. So just simply cut this up and into chunks like that, because really when you serve this, it's gonna be different than that anyways. So now there's fat again. You could cut this stuff out, but again, I'm too lazy. I'm not gonna do it. I've already taken the majority of the fat cap off. And I'm gonna get as close to the bone as I can because it's very hard to deal with the bone. So let's go this way here. Just kind of looking where the bone is. And you won't be able to get all of it because the bone kind of curves around and everything. It's kind of hard to deal with, but get as much as you can. So as close as the bone as you can get. All right, I'm gonna call it good. So we'll still have some on the bone, that's fine. All right, so I'm gonna do a little cleanup here. Let's clear out this. Now I've got 2 of these pans. Also brought some paper towel, make it a little bit easier. And I'm just simply going to lay these out. Close enough. Okay. So here's how I'm gonna do it, all right? I'm gonna take the package, all right? Rip it open. And it's just powder. You don't wanna get this on your hands because it's got like a red dye on there. You don't wanna do that. So I'm just gonna sprinkle this directly on the meat, all right? So I'm not doing this put it in water business and all that. And that, really, we're not going to use water. So this is kind of like a rub, if you think about it. There you go. Close enough. Then I'm going to flip it. We're going to do both sides. Of course, you're going to get some of this on your fingers as you do this, but you can wash it off. All right, so let's do this other side. Now, a package of one of these is not that expensive. I recall these things being as low as like $1.25, but it could be as much as $2 or something. I guess I'm not really sure exactly what the price is on these packages anymore. You go to any Asian store, you can find this stuff. You could also get it on Amazon too, but I think they do charge a lot more if you buy it there. All right, we still have a little bit more, that's fine. I'm gonna use some soy sauce, all right? So we don't put a lot of this on here, but we do need to kind of get it a little bit wet here. So I'm just gonna sprinkle on some soy sauce. This adds extra flavor too. Water's not gonna do anything for you, all right? Now I know my wife likes to put some sugar on here, but the problem with putting the sugar initially on here is it's gonna burn when you put it inside the oven. So I tend to avoid that. And we'll flip it over again, and we'll put some soy sauce on that side. Now you don't want to drench this with too much soy sauce because then it's just dripping wet. It's not going to help you, but you do want to get it wet. It's probably the easiest recipe. Remember I told you guys too, I do it the easiest way I can get it around with, and that's what this is. All right, I'm gonna call that good. So we do have enough now. All we need to do is put this in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours, let that thing marinate, and then come back and stick it in the oven. So when we put it in the oven, you can vary the temperature on this thing, but I'm gonna go about 400 degrees on this. And what I do is I don't cook by time, I cook by temperature. So I'm gonna keep this going until I see at least 165 degrees internal temperature of the meat. And typically I will use a temperature reader, call it a thermometer, and I will use this to check it, all right? So people have always asked, why is it 67 degrees in this house? We keep it kind of cold in here. But anyways, I cook by temperature. I will check it as we go along, and when we hit that internal temperature of at least 165 degrees, I know that we're good, and we'll take it out at that point. So sit tight, and we'll come back in a bit. All right, we're back. Now, I put the Char Siu in the oven for 400 degrees for about 40 minutes, turning it halfway in between time. And let's check some temperatures here. I just took it out, and our internal temps are running to about 166 to 167 on this 160, 170. You guys see that? Let's go down here. 175. This one's at 175. 169. Let's try these over here. 168. 177. So you can see it varies. 174, depending on how big the meat is. But we are essentially done. So typically you would let this cool before cutting into it, but of course we don't have that kind of time for this video, so I'm gonna cut into one of them. Let me take a small piece. Let's take this one here. How's that? And you'll see a certain amount of liquid comes out, and that's probably the rendered fat that's come out of it. Now, what some people will do is they'll skim the fat off and take the rest of the sauces and make some type of sauce out of it, but it's okay. We're gonna just do this one here. So let's cut into this. You can see it's a nice red meat, and that's from the color dye that's typically in these things. And you can see it's ready. You can see it's ready. So let me try one piece of it here. Yeah, we gotta try more than one. Yeah, it's good. This is very good. That's what it looks like. All right. Is it better than the stuff that you can get at Chinatown? Answer is no. You go to the stores, they do it better. They do a lot of stuff. They have really sticky things on it and everything. It's probably some honey and everything like that. This is very basic. You could do that. I would suggest that if you wanted to add honey or some type of thing to sweeten it up and make it a little stickier, do that towards the end of the cook, because you don't want that burning throughout the entire time. So let's look at the prices. This pork butt was 99 cents a pound on sale, and it was a 7-pound pork butt. I'm gonna estimate about a pound of it was fat. So let's say that's 6 pounds. Now by the time you cook it, let's say that's between 3 and 4 pounds of final product, right? The cost of the Char Siu bag was probably, let's say that's even $2. So really you're at about a cost of about $9 with a yield of about, let's say 4 pounds yield for $9. So it's a little over, what does that come out to be? If it was 8 pounds, it would be $1 something. So this is about $2 and something per pound. If you were to buy this, say down in Chinatown or someplace that actually sells Char Siu, I don't know, $7 a pound, maybe something like that. So it's a lot better to do it on your own, and it wasn't that difficult. As you can see, you buy the package, you sprinkle it on, put some soy sauce on there, let it sit in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours, 2 to 4 hours, even overnight if you wanted to. Put it in a 400-degree oven, let it sit there for say 20 minutes, flip it over, do another 20 minutes. Check the temperatures, make sure your internal temperature is at least 165 degrees or higher so you know that the pork is fully cooked, and you're done. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and definitely hit that bell icon so you know when new videos from me come out. Definitely subscribe. I'm very close to about 500 subscribers at this point. I need at least 1,000, all right? So we gotta get you guys to subscribe. It does help me out if you do that. I'll talk to you guys next time.